Good morning. Our country is crying out for a plan. This is a defining moment for Britain. The UK is facing profound challenge and change. We are in the middle of a cost of living crisis, geopolitical upheaval, the twin transformations of climate change and technological acceleration, the emergence from a global pandemic, the departure from the EU, and growth is stalling. It is the job of politics to find answers to these challenges, to map out a plan to meet them, and to harness the opportunities that they present. But the people of the UK have no confidence in current politics to be able to do this. My organisation, the Britain Project, has spent the last year asking the British people what they think and what they want politics to do. The picture they have given us sets out their expectations and the need, the very real need for change. It is worrying in part, but it also gives progressives reasons to be optimistic about the future. The polling has been sent to you. It is on our website, and I would urge you to read it in full. This is a very fast whiz-through in the interest of time. The polling was commissioned by us, the Britain Project, and conducted by Yonder over the course of the last year on 3 separate occasions, thousands of people and across the country. It uses their clock face model to define what the reactions and opinions of respondents mean in a political context. This places voters along 2 axes, defined by security, measures of health, wealth, and well-being, and diversity, factors including ethnicity, culture, and population density. Every person in the country occupies a position on the Yonder clock face. The clock face also shows us how the British electoral map has changed radically over the decades, how the demographic heartlands and average voter of the major parties has moved across the clock face since the 1980s. But for this polling, the headline finding is that our country feels adrift. A majority is pessimistic about Britain's future. They see modern Britain as hierarchical, stretched, and directionless. They offer as examples a stagnant and aimless approach to economic policy, a housing market which doesn't work, entrenched wealth inequality, and a cost of living crisis. Across the country, 2/3 of people believe that Britain is going in the wrong direction. 62% of people believe that Britain is no longer a leader on the world stage. 7 out of 10 people believe that without urgent action, the country faces a period of decline. It is clear to most people that the UK needs a clear, credible, unifying plan to address the critical challenges that face us. But 73% of people believe that there is no plan. And very few people have any confidence that the plan we need is ever likely to emerge from the way that politics is currently done. More than 3/4 of people have concluded that the political system is broken and that the main parties can't fix it. They think that politicians are self-serving and short-termist. Voters across the clock face feel grossly underserved and utterly disillusioned with politics. There is disillusionment that politics can fix stuff, and the electorate want it fixed. Voters across the map are desperate for an offer of a positive vision for our country. And while they can't define what it would be, they are unified in wanting it. They place great emphasis on straight-talking, pragmatic, conviction-driven leadership, diagnosing a problem forcibly, setting out a vision in plain terms, and acting. In the polling, the electorate also give us a clue about the values that they are looking for in any plan. Equality of opportunity, respect, and responsibility. These are unifying values, the values which people want to see defining our politics and reflected in the plan to take Britain forward. In the way that we behave, in the way that we engage, in the way that we speak and the way that we act, we must show that there must be a different, a better, a franker, a fresher, a braver, and more honest politics. And that starts with a determination to reject tribalism. Because this is something else that unites the country. Almost 9 out of 10 people believe that parties should work across the divides and collaborate to work on solutions to solve the country's problems. And this is particularly necessary because the problems the UK faces will not be resolved in one parliament. Within all of this, there is an opportunity for the progressive side because politics has changed. Political parties have come adrift from their demographic and class and traditional moorings of the early 20th century. Old allegiances and attachments are disappearing. But our polling finds that the majority of the electorate stays at the centre, that nearly 3/4 of adults across the UK agree that the UK needs stronger voices in the political centre ground, and that a strong, progressive, centrist government in Westminster would help keep all parts of the UK closer together. So this is a challenge for progressives. This is a time for vision, for pragmatism, not ideology. Because what matters is what works. No one party and no one person has all the ideas. And that is why we set up the Britain Project, to be a convening space for progressives, to be a catalyst for change, for a fresh politics, reinvigorating politics outside of the confines of the electoral cycle. And that is why the Tony Blair Institute for Global Change, My Life, My Say, and the Britain Project today are curating this conference today, and why we have explicitly asked you to leave your affiliations at the door and come together. Because if the centre is to do anything, it needs to offer a plan on the economy, on prosperity, on growth, on climate change, on how we harness the technology revolution to bring prosperity to our people, on Britain's place in the world. This is how we do it. Because to be radical isn't to be extreme. To be exciting isn't to be unrealistic. To be muscular doesn't shut out the vulnerable. Our progressive traditions give us the tools to do all these things. To be both radical and centrist, to be exciting and realistic, and to be muscular and compassionate. Our challenge as progressives is to offer a politics of hope and a vision rooted in the lives of working people, but striving to make our country even greater than it is and to deliver for future generations. And we, as partners, the Tony Blair Institute for Global Change, My Life, My Say, and the Britain Project, have come together to start that conversation today. Let's start. What do we want the future of Britain to be, and how do we get there? Thank you.